field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Round of applause.
Bit of a sloppy track here at Soldier Field. Still getting some of the wraparound rain bands of a low-pressure system that's hovered over Chicago the last couple of days. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Chicago Bears. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Not something you expect to see from the opening kickoff, that's for sure, and they will start at the 40. Out of the gun, Eckler running it, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Herbert. We'll drop this one off to Eckler. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. This defense for the Bears, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always said, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 23 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. The Bears at 5-1 here in this early part of the season. They're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6.
And let's remember that last week that this offense, they played about as well as they possibly could play. Touchdown after touchdown. They were absolutely unstoppable in that game. They'll be hard-pressed to do it again, repeat that type of performance. But boy, were they sensational just a week ago.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Fields throwing again. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, a run with Herbert. And he will fight his way in. Not giving up there. He's got a Bears touchdown. Khalil Herbert, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss, as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
On 2nd down and 4. Herbert Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Chambers. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And out across midfield down to the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The credit the tackle to Juan Thornhill. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 19. Up the middle with Eckler. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
On 2nd and 12, Herbert. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Juan Thornhill. And the Bears will take over here at their own 14-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
That's complete to his running back, Herbert. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Now it's Fields. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Clayton. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. His pass on target. Velus Jones with it. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers 39. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They find some open field, and I think the ball's out. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, there'll be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Robert Tonyan His second touchdown on the season. And the Bears go up by 2 touchdowns. Wants to try to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Touchdown, wants to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Herbert with a connection to Allen for a Charger first down.
They'll look to throw here. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Sliding out of the pocket.
This is swung out to Eckler.
And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's second down.
Well, when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. After the run, now Herbert to throw. The quick slant caught. Touchdown. Josh Palmer, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are back within a score.
Obviously, Brandon, they couldn't get it all back with just one score, but that touchdown chips into the lead, and now it makes the comeback a little bit more manageable.
Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
Taken in at the 3. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to try and go deep again. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Chicago.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Herbert off of play action. Forced out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Fields on first down. He'll get that complete to Khalil Herbert, and he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Fields. Man open, here is Jones. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
They'll run with Robinson.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
James Robinson
taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bears will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. I don't think they need to be reminded of the situation here. I mean, the clock is dwindling. 3-score deficit waiting for them at halftime unless they can get something on the board here before intermission. From the 30 on second down. Herbert on the screen. This is Eckler. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Play action. It's Herbert. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Open man left side. It's the tight end Tunyon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. They go right back to him for 20 and a 1st. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the micro.
Touchdown Bears! Robert Tunyon, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared.
That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
They started this drive with terrific field position, and it's going to get even better after that play. Had great options with where they started, so they decided to press their advantage, and it paid off.
Chase Claypool from 17 yards out. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst night.
Herbert has it knocked free, and this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing on third down, Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Chargers will take over here at their own 12-yard line. But with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
On Herbert, his third interception. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nut.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown.
James Robinson
with his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bears get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Take it in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Now Fields.
6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Got a man, it's Tunyon. And the Bears are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Back to throw, Fields.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears.
Chase Claypool.
His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Bears take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Fields it right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Charger drive about to get going.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air again, Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Hooked by Julian Love. And the Bears are going to take over at their own 41.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic.
There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago.
Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the play, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday magic. Lights came, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the play, John Madden. It's a many given Sunday.